You're listening to Puma Podcast.
The best nights that I remember are actually quiet. You're hanging out in a park. Naglalakad lang kayo ng kasama mo. It's a nice way to create an environment na mag-uusap lang. Whether that becomes like a facility for creativity, which is what cities, pubs, and bars are, or just a place for you to talk and catch up and learn something new.
Hi, I'm Carl Javier, CEO of Puma Podcast, and you're listening to A Better Normal, where we discuss creativity, entrepreneurship, and innovation, all towards making a better world. In this episode, we're talking to Jerickson Ko, co-founder of the award-winning and renowned Curator Bar. Hi, Jerickson. Welcome to the show. And can you briefly introduce yourself? Give us a little background.
Well, hi, Carl. So my name is Jerickson Ko. In this context, I am an owner and a bartender of the Curator Coffee and Cocktails. Me, along with my partners, David Ong, Tiffany Yu, and Bernice Yu, run and operate the Curator Coffee and Cocktails. It is a cocktail bar, maliit lang sa C. Palanca, corner Legazpi Street sa Makati. We've been operating for 10 years at this point. I think okay naman kami. 10 years for a bar is actually ancient. So, nagpapasalamat na lang ako na maraming tao pang may pumupunta pa rin at gumagastos at umiinom sa bar namin.
Dude, it's 10 years and it's still cool. Kasi most bars, people come in and then people move on. And I think people are still hanging out. People still think it's a top of my place.
That, yeah. I appreciate that. Buti, cool is not something naman na hinabol namin doon when we started. It was just like a place that we wanted for ourselves. The partners and I, we all wanted a place na mapupuntahan namin that gives the service that we want to give, that make the drinks that we want to give, both in coffee and in cocktails sa gabi. And yun lang, tuwa naman kami na, may market pala, still after 10 years. So that makes me happy then.
Well, I will tell you, on a personal level, my wife and I, during the pandemic, we would drive up and she would jump out of the car and order from outside. And then we drive our way with our drinks kasi we could not go inside or it was limited seating and all of these things. But there was a real comfort in having those drinks and having access to this. I guess, when you say survive 10 years, that's pretty much 20 when you include the pandemic. So, what keeps things going for now? Or what keeps you going?
So one of the key things that we learned with our team, especially in particular during the pandemic, was we missed the connection with the bar, from the bartenders to the guests. Tinime namin yan eh. When you go to a restaurant, normally, kakausapin mo the contact time you have with your server is less than 5 minutes. Sa amin sa Curator, we try to shoot for at least longer than 15. At least nakakausap mo, we are able to engage. Kahit barok or kahit iba yung language, we try as much as possible to make a connection with the person. That was not something we were able to do much during the pandemic. And then, ngayon, sige, granted, it's been 2 years na. This is also why we have this new menu and it helped us focus kung ano yung gusto namin gawin, which is make drinks for people. And this menu we have came from that. It actually came from my wife, if more than anything. Sinasabi niya na the happiest creators or the happiest producers that she knows, she's heard about, have always been people thinking of the end consumer and how it would make them feel or make a song. In this case, yung instance sa asawa ko, it was Pharrell Williams listening to paano niya ginawa yung biggest hit ni Pharrell, which is Happy. Tapos kinikwento lang ng asawa ko yan. It's like, kasi ginawa ko to para dun sa mga manonood nung song. It's like, wait. That might be a nice theme for the next menu. We'll make it for people we'd like to have a drink with. And when that clicked with the team, takbo na yan. They all started having their own personality. injecting their own personality into the menu, into who they want to represent. So one of the big benefits, so siguro swerte rin kami, may mga nahanap kaming tao that have a lot of their own passions, either gaming or music or various forms of art. So we have one bartender na loved Michelle Zauner, loved the book Crying in H Mart. So there's a cocktail called Crying in Rada Mart kasi malapit sa amin, and doon namin binibili yung ingredients. May isa sa amin was like a hardcore music guy. So there is a drink there. If Kurt Cobain didn't pass no 90s, what music would he have done? Because we were kind of robbed with that. Ano kaya yung music na ginagawa ni Kurt Cobain ngayon? Ano kaya yung music niya nung mga 2008? Ganun. So, paano yun? We have one guy na mahilig sa gaming. So, yung gumawa siya very, very specific for Hidetaka Miyazaki. So, video game maker that are particularly difficult video games like Bloodborne and Elden Ring and Dark Souls and Sekiro. And yun, tontuwa siya. And you let the bar team, you let people you've trained run with their ideas, guide them a little bit, and ramdam mo tuloy. Or that's how we think. Ramdam naman hopefully nung customers na, uy, may interest ng mga to. And they let their passion, they let their art, their interest guide yung output na lumalabas sa bar. And so far, I think masarap.
I love that. I love this idea of letting the team share what they love so that it transfers to something that your audience, your fans, diba, your visitors, your drinkers can love. But I'm going to pull it back and go super basic because I'm curious and I want to know how you think. I love to drink. I love to drink. I love to mix a drink every once in a while. I'm sure a lot of our listeners have an appreciation for drinks. But I wanted to ask, if I were teaching someone how to write, and I have grammar and sentences and whatever, and then from those sentences, then there's the bigger themes and stories that I want to bring out. So can you walk me through, like, what's the basic grammar of a drink? And then how do you go from, these are the basic elements, to, this is the award-winning drink, or this is the drink that actually is an artistic execution?
Okay, that's awesome. So at the very, very core, a drink has to be four things. It has to be cold. If nakainom ka na ng lukewarm na Coke or Pepsi, alam mong hindi siya masarap. Okay, so it has to be cold. And cold is a function of technique and attention. That's cold, number one. Number two is it has to be diluted properly. Meaning that malaki yung difference when you shoot a shot of tequila or something that you dilute with lime juice and agave syrup and a little bit of water. Every cocktail is about 30% water. That is, pag minix mo sila, shinake mo, sinrain mo, tinimbang mo, nagdagdag ka ng ganong kadaming tubig na malamig sana. So it has to be diluted properly. We add two more concepts to that. One is that it has to be balanced. Balanced meaning it can lean sour, it can lean sweet, it can lean boozy, depending on the customer na yan, or depending on the person making. It can't fall down on itself, though. You can't be shooting a shot of vinegar. Parang medyo balance, pero pwede nakatayo pa rin siya on its own. So balance meaning it's still roughly balance or roughly masarap pa rin. And the last part, and what we want to lean on, is that it has to have personality. One of the things that we teach with our bar team is, especially for a bar like ours where we only serve drinks, your drinks have to have a more distinct personality. What we say is, if you're introducing a significant other, your boyfriend or girlfriend, to your parents, you'd want to highlight specific parts of their personality. You won't go and tell them, ma, alam mo, 10 daliri niya. Walang kwenta naman yun. It has to be somewhat may unique thing doon, and that's what we want to highlight. Yeah, it's actually just that simple. If there are ratios in cocktail making that teach you about 90% of all the drinks that you'll see on the market, and then minor tweaking na lang yan then it's the difference from 15 to 20 ml of lime juice or lemon juice or calamansi mas konti. may minor tweaking lang. Pero it's actually just that. It's the mindfulness of malamig ba siya? Tama ba yung dilution? Or over ba yung dilution? Tama ba yung balance ba siya? And then, may unique thing ba or may personality ba yung drink? We actually teach classes at the bar on Sundays or, well, pag may oras kami. It's kind of fun. Nagiging parang magandang team building din minsan yan.
I can imagine, and sort of you guys are on your toes because you're also making drinks for people on the fly, right? Like you ask them what they prefer and get on. Yeah.
That's fun. We have a term called EK or Enchanted Kingdom sa bar. What we tell them is kapag tahimik yung gabi, let's say a Tuesday or honestly like a Sunday night, and we get to play around, that's the most fun. Kasi parang nasa Enchanted Kingdom na walang pila. So, pwede ka maglaro lang. So, we end up talking to the customers like, hindi naman masyado busy ngayon. Do you want us to make you something? And it's ranged a lot. It ranged from make me your concept of butter beer kasi Harry Potter enthusiast yung particular na guest. Or there was one time, there was a group na mahilig sa perfume. And naglabas sila ng mga swatches or I don't know the exact term for it, but like cards na may specific na smells. It's like,
wow, okay.
Amoy din gawa kami para doon. It's like those were fun. It's always fun when you have some level of dialogue with the guest, and particularly for us, we thrive on it, or the team that we have actually thrives and enjoys working with people.
So I wonder about, kasi you're saying, oh, these are the basic elements, and obviously skill comes in once you have a better sense of balance and all of these things. But you guys as like an award-winning bar, and or a bar that's on the list. How much of it is the drink itself, and how much of it is the environment that you're creating around the drink that I think also factors in?
If we want to put in a number for it, and I'm the owner here, and we are a bar that's been on like some form of a list for a good time na, 10% lang ang drinks. So
wow, really?
It's not about the drinks. In our training manual, it's never about the drinks. It's about how you make the customer feel. It's a lot like pro wrestling. It's a little bit about the match, but it's also about how you make the customer feel. Of course, you still have to make a good drink because you're still charging money technically for that. But what keeps you, I think, what keeps you alive for 10 years, na wala ka man lang French fries sa menu mo, is how you make the customers feel, how you engage, how you talk to them. We always look at ourselves in the greater scheme of Asian bartenders. The one unique thing that we have as Filipinos is that we are very, very good at hospitality. We are very good at talking to people, giving something from ourselves so that when they leave our place, our bar, they feel nourished. Granted, alak ang binibigay namin. No? They feel nourished, they feel good. Yun yung gusto naming gawin. A big chunk of that is not something you can write down per se, as more of like something you train and something that has to be internal with your team, that they really just enjoy making people feel good and making people feel welcome to their home, our home, the bar, and that paglabas nila, they feel that they've had like a great night. It's a lot of intangible things that hanapin mo lang is yung mga tao na mahilig magpasaya ng kapwa nila. Ayan. So we were fortunate for that, and okay pa naman so far. But yeah, the drinks are very small, a small part of it. It is our main way of trade, yes, but there is so much more that's more important.
Yeah, so if I'm paying for the drink, I'm not just paying for the components of that drink, but I'm paying for the experience that I receive when I go to the bar.
Yes. And it's experience. You're paying for, hopefully, the assurance that what you get, if you don't like it, will replace it. The assurance that your money, I'm fully aware, mahal kami, but the experience that when you go there, you know that you'll be taken care of. We won't take your money for nothing. That's one, that we find a cocktail or coffee that's unique to you, that you really, really enjoy. I know it sounds hokey, but it's something that gusto namin mabigay sa tao is, okay, masaya ka paglabas mo. Masaya ka dun sa drink, nahanap mo kung ano yung hinahanap mong drink, and napaginhawa ka man lang.
On a technical level, what elevates a drink to artistry? Ng arte, no? Since we're being hokey naman. But what makes a drink elevated above a typical, gin and tonic and a dry
Ah,
martini or whatever?
well, ingredients matter. Ingredients, how you prepare them matters. The amount of ice that you use, making sure that the ice is not diluted. Ibig sabihin, hindi basa yung yelo. That matters. A lot of paying attention to the small details. Malamig ba yung baso? Malinis ba yung baso? Ice quality kind of matters as long as it's not. It doesn't have to be like always the really clear blocks, right? It just has to be not wet. The ingredients matter. It's the tonic water you're using heavy on corn syrup. So nagiging sticky ba at like your third gin and tonic. How much you agitate let's say kung yun nga, something that's effervescent, like a gin and tonic. How much do you agitate the ice with the liquid na nawawala na yung bubbles? How cold are the products before it goes into the glass with the ice? So a lot of like the small thousand little things that is done para maging mas okay. There's no one general technique that is the demarcation between professional and amateur bartender. Um, I always look at this as parang like, yung pagturo namin is lola mo, napakagaling magluto. And a lot of people like dilute it down to one thing na ginagawa ng lola nila. It's not. It's the thousand small things that your grandmother does para gawin yung, say, tinola. Kasi alam niya ginagawa niya para sa apo niya. My grandmother does this, may laman loob siya na sabaw na yung paglinis niya. And it's like, oh, hindi lang pala yung paglinis. It's all the other, how well she dices yung labanos, how well she grates the ginger versus cutting it big. So it's the thousand small things that seem innocuous, but you end up having like a much better experience just because of it. So intention matters, and then there are the minor techniques that you learn as you go along, and as you keep tasting, like, could it be done better? Yeah.
I really appreciate that because I've been a drunk person for many years. But this is my opportunity to sit back and go, as you enumerate each component or each aspect, like, ayaw nga no, that always makes it better if the bartender bothers to do this. And it's care, no? It's craft and it's care.
Yeah.
I'm going to move the conversation to how we connected beyond fandom. Na bilang I was a fan of your bar and you apparently were a fan of one of our podcasts, but you made those drinks based on stories of Washington Sisip and Jovito Salonga. And I wanted to ask,
Yeah.
talk about quote unquote creative process. You hear the episode and then how do those components start coming in? Like, it's this specific liquor that I will use and it's that,
Yeah, okay. So, unahin natin si Jovito Salonga kasi mas nakakatuwa. I think, nakakatuwa yung dalawang stories, but yung kay Jovito Salonga muna tayo. Ang dami dun sa elements, we're referring to the Jovito Salonga episode. So, dun sa bago ang lahat na episode, it was made clear that he came from humble beginnings. Incidentally, siya nagturo sa tatay ni Washington Sisip mag-Tagalog or something, di ba? Sa kulungan. Okay. So humble beginnings. And I wanted something to bridge between something that's very humble, but also bring to where he was this close to becoming president. And he should have been, right? To that difference. So, okay, let's start with humble. Then, ano yung humble na ingredients na gagamitin natin? It should be vegetable-based. Kasi yun ang lulutuin mo. And his dad was a preacher. His mom was like a mangingisda or nagbebenta sa palengke, right? But then you also bring it to, ano ba ang quintessential na medyo fancy na drink or something that would be subtle but also very refined, which is a martini. So yun yung process namin. Okay, martini, it has to be a martini product, but we want to do it humble. Okay. And then incidentally, in ako ng pangat. Alam yung pinangat, which is sobrang simple lang. Luya, kamatis, lemongrass. Gagawa ka ng sabaw na yun, lalagyan mo ng patis. Thus, you slide in the fish and you let it poach there. So that is the idea. We then take the water in that we will put in the martini anyway, which is the martini is about 25% water. We flavor that with ingredients that you would cook if you were coming from a fairly humble origin, fairly humble budget or standing. Yun yung lulutuin mo. And then ilalagay mo into a martini. Then we just added dalandan just because it feels like a very good Filipino context na ingredient. And then what else did we put there? That's it. The lemongrass. It was a tomato and ginger water, lemongrass into the gin, dalandan into the vermouth. All like executed and balanced a little bit. Nilagyan namin ng konting asin din. Tinanggalan namin yung patis kasi it doesn't really work with the martini. And then that's how it ended up. Like some minor tweaking. It actually didn't take us a long time to build that. Once now, okay, how do you take like a pangat and something like very, very simple drinks, and how do you try to do that into something na interesting, like a somewhat savory martini? Na when you present it, it's very refined looking, but you know that it comes from, or when you taste it, it's unique and it comes from very humble ingredients. May chicharo pala dun. Chicharo gin. So we cooked, we blanched the chicharo into the gin very quickly, and then para may konting green tea na lasa, para may konting grounded spring na parang brightness into it. So yeah, that's how the whole Jovito Salonga drink came
parang
about.
man of the earth yung mga components. Ganun.
Oh, ganun. We wanted something that is, right? Like it's always so easy to use expensive ingredients, gold leaf, caviar, foie gras, or fancy scotch into it. It's like, okay, subukan natin what si Senator Salonga espoused, which is very straightforward, but you just do it well, you do it properly, you work hard at it, and you take ingredients that are for every day and you try to, I hate using the word elevate because everyone keeps using that now, but you try to present it in a manner na maaabot sana world class. And I think that's what he was, and I think his writing still is. And yun. So hopefully we do his memory justice.
Galing. Thank you for sharing that. Kasi ang galing ng whole process. Like, I can imagine us talking about him, or of course, we went and we did the episode and we found the highlights and the pieces of the life. Pero seeing that transformed into something and sort of tasting it, because it's so tactile. Yung parang it's undeniable. Like the going in there. I love the touch of the dalandan. That's sort of my flavor profile is there. So really, really enjoyed it. Do you want to talk about the sisip?
Oh yeah, Washington sisip. That one was fun. That one. So a cocktail has a sweet, in a technical approach muna, a cocktail has to have a sweet sour. Like may sour mix a cocktail. Pero, so yung pinaka-kinatuwaan ko dito, si Washington sisip yung unang nag-present na, yung unang Filipino nag-present sa US Supreme Court. Yeah? Nandun yun sa episode na yun eh. So it's like, wow, okay, that's a little badass. That's pretty good. Okay, medyo sobrang nakakatuwa yun. So inisip namin, how do you approach a sweet sour away from traditional na approach? Like how Washington sisip is playing in a quote-unquote foreign man's game, but he is able to thrive being both Filipino and Chinese. I come from the same background as him. I'm also, my ancestors come from Fujian province. So, ano yung approach? So, gagamit kami ng Filipino and ng Chinese na ingredients para dun sa normal na sweet sour. Normal kasi is like lemon lime juice, which are very foreign, and sugar, which is like, sugar country tayo. Pero iba naman yung approach namin. Gumamit kami hibiscus or gumamela, Filipino. And really, like, what's a Chinese snack? Haoflakes. So yung hibiscus tea niluto namin, nagtunaw kami ng Haoflakes doon. Yun yung sweet sour na ginamit namin. We needed to have an American component there because he studied in America, became an American because of the war, diba? Nag-enlist siya as a translator or something. But I know it was an information-heavy role. Parang ganun. So we needed to put some rye in there. And then may Don Papa because again, Filipino ka pa rin. And then ganun yung approach. But the core was, how do you make a sweet sour? The soul of a cocktail, the soul of like 60% of most cocktails, the balance of sweet sour. Pero hindi ka gagamit ng traditional na ingredients. The way that Washington sisip became ubiquitous and even beat the big three in audit with being he himself, being Filipino Chinese. So yun yung naging core, and yun, gumana. Incidentally, we are also across the Washington CC Park, which is in his name. And across that park is AIM, which he also started.
Yeah.
Incidentally, marami kaming kaibigan na JCI na sinasabi, si Washington CC nagsimula din nito. Ganun. Nung nakita nila yung venue. So, a lot of the tributes are because of where we are as well. And he was also, so we came from a time na ang dami nating less than proud moments in our history. And mas gugustuhin ko ngayon is to talk about the people we would want to be proud of. Jovito Salonga would be one of them. In that time especially, I think hindi natin masyado na pag-uusapan. Or Washington CC being someone that is, what he did is the equivalent of Jollibee beating McDonald's. By right, ganong level. We want to highlight people that we want to, that I think dapat malaman na ng tao. Not that that's like the battle cry, but it's more of like, it's more interesting for us, and hopefully other people find interest in them too.
I wanted to go exactly where you're taking this conversation, which is you could mix a drink and name it anything.
Yes.
Right? Pwede naman yun eh. But you've decided to do this. We could name it anything. Why does it matter to you to draw from these narratives? Obviously, it connects with you. I think that's the underlying thing here is there are some values here that resonate. And it doesn't matter whether you're a storyteller or an accountant or a bartender. There are ways to express the same values. But beyond that, like why does it matter to you personally?
So I read somewhere na if you want to destroy the things you don't like, you actually should just build the things that you love. You don't go and destroy something else. You build something and maybe yun yung pupuntahan nila. Kulang ng ganitong storytellers. We are, what's the term? Over-entertained and under-informed by like this, I forget her name, but the head of ABS-CBN News nung isang Senate testimony niya. We are over-entertained and under-informed. Not that our role is to inform people like a bullhorn, but maybe tell stories in a more interesting manner for us to know ourselves more. Hindi naman puro showbiz or entertainment, but stories that we would want people to hear. And that's the fun thing with a bar. You actually sit down for 3 or 4 drinks and just talk. You just kwentuhan ka lang. The best conversations I remember are with people na may natutunan akong something na bago, something that touches my heart. And then incidentally, what touches my heart are stories about people like us who try, people like us who yung lumalaban to make things better. Like yung lumalaban, ganon, yun yung gusto pa rin namin gawin. Again, I hate the word elevate, but elevate what we do, elevate the country na mas maayos yung lumalabas na output natin. Yung isang I hesitate kasi nakatrabaho ko si Senator Juan Flavier. Like intern ako sa Senado nung nung third year ko ng college, yung summer ng third year ko ng college. Intern ako kay Senator Magsaysay, and nakikita ko lagi si Senator Flavier. And yun silang dalawa, which feature nyo rin sa bago ang lahat, diba? Ayun. Syempre, pero si Senator Flavier, baka against naman sa inom. So, tingnan natin. I'm reading his books ngayon eh. So yun, you tell the stories that you want to tell. Instead of just going for the cheap, like the low-hanging fruit, yung kasi yung uso ngayon, or it feels unearned kung ganun lang yung gagawin natin. Parang sinayang ko lang yung oras nung taong pupunta. Kasi it's like naming a drink. Nothing against it and the person who made it, but naming a drink, sex on the beach. Okay, sige. It's lecherous, it gets attention, but afterwards, wala. It's junk food, right?
Yeah.
Sana naman there's something else. There's something deeper dun sa ginagawa. But at the end of the day, it's still a drink. It's just a cocktail. We just like to have fun with it and tell stories that we ourselves would want to hear. And mas nakakatuwa yun para sa amin.
My wife and I, when we go somewhere to eat or drink, and the plate comes and it's quote unquote elevated, our term for it is, oy, yung restaurant na to or yung bar na to, may pangarap. Like there's a dream.
I
There
love
are
that.
aspirations. So ganyan, and I think what we're saying here is we want everything to aspire to something. Eh. Diba? Kasi when your food aspires to something, then maybe you aspire also, diba? Or when the drinks aspire to things. No?
I love that. Wait, that kind of distills a big chunk of like so may mga kaibigan kami in the bar industry and the restaurant industry. And yun yung isa sa mga parang hindi ko muna papangalanan but isa yun yung parang pinag-uusapan namin nung Christmas gathering namin. Ano yung kakaiba nun sa grupo nito? Why do we like look up to each other so much? You kind of summarized in 2 words, may pangarap. And siguro yun yung hinahabol namin sa curator. Not awards, but more may pangarap, may gusto kaming sabihin dun sa ginagawa namin. I think any form of, God, I hate to say art because we are bartenders, but any form of something you
I'll
create.
allow it.
Something lang ginagawa. Something that you create. Sana may pangarap na maayos, makatulong, or something that you manufacture. I'm trying to keep like the terms as blue collar as possible because
No,
bartending at the end of the day is washing dishes and putting liquid into glasses.
let's get
Ayun.
people drunk, diba? Serving people so that they can loosen up and have a good time.
Yes, ayun. Yun. So I like that. May pangarap. That is great.
And I guess just to fill out the idea, no, because we're talking about it, it contrasts with yung hindi ako kontento. Like kontento is this is fine. Yung may pangarap is I'm striving towards something, and that could be striving to make a new drink that will connect, or it could be doing something within your industry.
Yung
May
bawal ang
levels,
pwede
eh.
na yan.
Yes.
Bawal ang pwede na yan. Ayun. So we're actually starting our new menu now, our next menu. It's the same format, people we'd like to drink with.
Nice.
People we'd like to have a drink with. Kasi ang dami naming inedit out. So ngayon, mas marami kaming gustong idagdag naman. Kasi mahirap naman 40 yung items sa menu. And eto, mas interested ako dun. Mas interesting kasi ngayon, the team is 1 year older. They have a little bit more knowledge. Mas marami kaming weird na gamit na pwedeng paglaruan. Like distillation and freeze drying. May mga ganong equipment kami na paglalaroan ngayon. Yun.
I'm
May
excited. So, one last sort of area I want to discuss. See, Steven Johnson, he has this book called How Creativity Works. And then he attributes part of it to interactions. And an example niya was the salons of Victorian London na doon tumatambay yung mga people and then they sit and they'll have tea or coffee. Like coffee and tea were a driver of social interaction and conversation. Because you go there, you have, and then you wind up talking. And I think that's what bars should do. Except sometimes
That's what
bars get a little
cities,
too loud.
pubs, and
Di ba?
bars.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
then they get too loud and so hindi kayo nakakapag-usap and but I think I guess I would classify what you guys do as creating thoughtful drinks. Hindi yung you're just knocking it back to get wasted. You're there so that you'll sit and you sip and you consider the drink and then you have conversations with other people who are enjoying that moment. I guess ang haba ng build up, but the question is, how do you think about facilitating that? Like right before we started recording, we were talking about some of the artist friends and people who come and hang out to Curator. But how do you see yourselves as that kind of space?
Okay. We grew up in a Philippines na karamihan ng mga nightlife na pupuntahan is very loud and beer. And you're there to just get lost in the music. Ito yung uso pa yung mga clubs na may ingay lang talaga. But the best nights that I remember are actually quiet. You're hanging out in a park, you're going to walk around a village, or you're naglalakad lang kayo ng kasama mo. Those were, I feel, what the best nights were. So we wanted a place that would have that. A place na pwede lang kayong mag-usap. And yun yung nakakatuwa that we found out sa bar. Bars are a place where people gather, where people have fun, where they don't have to be drowned out, that drown their senses or dull their senses. Dahil may tinatakbuhan sila. They're just there to either share the celebration para it multiplies, or to divide the sorrow so that it's easier to carry. It's one of those most of the time that happens at the bar. So I think it's a nice place to create. It's a nice way to create an environment na mag-uusap lang. Whether that becomes like a facility for creativity, which is what cities, pubs, and bars are, or just a place for you to talk and catch up and learn something new. That's always like isa yun sa hinahabol namin, because yun, parang living room mo, parang bar that would be na dun lang kayo mag-uusap. You know how we approach like creativity in the Curator? May format kami. A big chunk of it is awareness muna. Like having a passion yourself and being aware of it. Interpreting that kind of passion into your own craft. You execute, that's step 3, and you let it evolve. So sa amin, let's start with that. It's the awareness of that. The most fun nights we had were when we were able to talk and hang out at maybe a friend's living room. And the bar is designed to be like a living room. The interpretation is just that, like our place na it's a cocktail bar pero hindi maingay. Siyempre may music pero hindi naman maingay. The execution is what the Curator is, and evolution is what you as a customer now, or like other customers now, feel and imprint themselves into the bar. It is very much not mine now. I mean, yes, I still pay the bills. Pero mas marami ng tao na they have their own stories with the Curator, and I'm so happy that they have their own like imprint on it. They have their own DNA na on it, and I love that. So nasa sa kanila na. I guess that's kulang din sa atin, right? We have designed a city. Si Raymond Magdaluyo, na-interview niyo na yata, di ba? Hindi ba? Okay, so he's a city planner and owner ng Red Crab, di ba? So yung sa kanya is you create environments, you create ecosystems where people can gather without having to spend money. Without having to, sige, doon lang tayo kasi doon lang sa mall. Without having to spend money, you love the place where you're at and have an environment na hindi kayo takot sa kapwa mo, hindi kayo takot sa kapitbahay mo. At nakakapag-usap kayo. So ours just happened to have a lot of alcohol involved, but that's one of the, I think, the joyous things of being in the hospitality industry. That's one of the great things about being in a hospitality focused society like the Philippines, that we actually like each other. We actually find things to like with each other, and you just create the ecosystem where that can thrive. I think we're thriving, or so far okay pa naman kami. So maybe we're doing something right, or baka swerte lang din.
Wow. It's always the right mix of right time, luck, and doing the right things.
Yes.
All right. Last question. Is there anything that we should know about Curator, about bars in general, that the general public never sees or does not grasp?
We actually enjoy making drinks for people. And for any bar. Granted, wag naman Saturday 9:30 ng gabi na and 10 tickets deep na yung bartenders. All bars I know, all bartenders that I've seen, and siguro I think most people naman, there is some level of pride when may papalasa sila sa'yo. So siguro kasi ako na yan and my partners, and medyo kilala kami. So when we go to other bars, like, boss, may papalasa ako sa'yo. And there's a twinkle in their eye. Medyo kahit nasa ibang bar ka, like you like any other place, boss, may papalasa ako sa'yo. And they're excited na may papasubok sila. May excited that they get to play around. Any form of, and I'll use the term creator at this point because it's very buzzy, but any person that has the wherewithal, the ability to make something, whether what language, whether it's alcohol or cocktails or an audio medium or something, basta may magagawa sila, there's a twinkle in it, there's a joy in it, and there's a pride in it. And nakakatuwa yun. And if you happen to be out and you happen to mukhang hindi naman busy yung bar, have them try it out. Have them challenge mo sila. The other side of that, you as the customer, siguro kasi kilala na nila kami, open kami. And alam nila na yung feedback is hindi yung sasaksakan mo sila ng kutsilyo at ititwist mo, right? There's some level of acceptance of constructive feedback. I think everyone does that. Everyone has that in them. And tuwang-tuwa kami na lumalabas yun. It's something that I found and I also then apply to the other things that I do. There's lahat, gusto naman mag-contribute eh. Gagawin mo lang yung ecosystem para mag-contribute sila. Dadalhin mo lang yung presence mo na willing sila. O medyo feeling nila constructive yung maibibigay mo sa kanila. Ayun. So that's, when the next time anyone goes to a bar, here. If di ganun ka busy and mukhang medyo may kobo yung bartender, sige, sabihin nyo, like, something. Ito yung mga gusto ko. You might just be surprised.
Love that. Thank you. No, now I am excited to go to a bar and try this out.
Awesome.
I learned so much from this episode, particularly about what makes a good drink. But here are my 3 key takeaways. First, I was so surprised by the idea that drinks only make up 10% of making a best bar. The rest of it is that experience. But that really makes sense. Drinks are a vessel, but it's the overall feel and what people put into creating that experience for you that matters. Next, I love all of the discussions about creativity and experimentation. The process of conceptualizing a drink and getting to the narrative that you can tell with these different components was just really mind-blowing for me. And last, when Jerickson talked about the best nights being quiet, where they were able to connect and have conversations, that brought about, of course, memories for myself, but also it brings us to this idea that they created a space that they could resonate with. And then they created a space and drinks which could also reach other people. So it's all about building things for yourself and for others that make something last and make something that people can love. So thanks to Jerickson for coming onto the show and actually for making those drinks that were the reason why we connected in the first place. And thanks to you listeners for joining our conversation and to the team that makes this show possible. Producer Geraldine Pascual, audio editor Mark Casillan, and the rest of the Puma Podcast crew. I've been your host, Carl Javier, and you've been listening to A Better Normal. If you want to keep the conversation going, you can follow Puma Podcast on all the socials and follow me on IG. It's at Carl Javier, Carl with a C. If you liked this episode, please do me and at least one of your friends a favor. Tell a friend about this episode and this podcast so we can build a community of people making a better normal.